In this video, we are going to focus on multiplication of polynomials. You will find this on page 91 in the Namibian Ordinary Level Mathematics textbook, y equals mx plus c to success. Let's get the highlight. Multiplication of polynomials. To multiply polynomials, we multiply each term in one polynomial by each term in the other polynomial. This involves multiplying the coefficients and adding the indices of the appropriate variables. Then simplify by adding the like terms. Let's look at an example. Remove the brackets using the distributive law and collect like terms. Okay, so take this term in front and just multiply it in. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times positive 3 is negative 6 x to the power 3 y. So you multiply the scalar by each of the terms in the bracket. If you look at this one, you do exactly the same. 3 times 2, that will be 6. A times a will be a squared. 3a times negative 3 will be negative 9. Now we move to this term. Be careful, there's a negative. I'm even going to mark it red. I just want to change the color. There's a negative. So if I multiply this, it's going to be negative a times 2, and that's going to be negative 2a. And negative a times negative 5, a negative times a negative, that's positive, and that's 5a to the power of 2. And then I look, where's the like? This is like. So 6 plus 5, that will be 11a squared, negative 2, negative 9, and that will be also negative 11a. So you keep the variable. That was a squared, and that was just an a. Okay, I want you to stop the video, and I want you to do number 1. Let's do a very easy one, number a, and then I want you to do number c, and then you can do number e. And then you can continue with number 2, and in number 2 you're just going to do B, and then you can do E, and then you can do J, and then you can continue. But first stop the video, try to do it on your own, and then you can look at the video. Okay, let's start. Number 1a. Let's first write it down. So it's 4. And then it's 5a plus 3. So don't forget what we do. We multiply. So 4 times 5a, that will be 20a. 4 times 3, that will just be 12. And if you look at this too, you see, not like terms, just leave it like that. Okay, if I move on to number C, then this will be 2a, then it will be 5a squared minus 7a minus 3. Okay, and exactly the same. I multiply, and I multiply. So 2a times 5a squared, that will be 10a. 2 plus 1 is 3. 2a times negative 7a, that will be negative 14a squared. And then 2a times negative 3, that will be negative 6a. And if I look at this, I'm going to say, oh, it's not like terms. And if it's not like terms, I cannot simplify it. I leave it like that. Okay, let's do number E. This is going to be negative 2n, negative 8n squared minus 8n m minus 7m squared. And again, don't forget, we are going to multiply, multiply, multiply. And don't forget, there is a negative. So be careful. The signs are going to change. So if I start here, I say negative times a negative, that will be positive, and it will be 16, and it will be n to the power of 3. If I take this one, a negative times a negative is also positive 16, and then it's going to, I think it's better if you put it alphabetically. So rather say it mn. N squared. And then a negative times a negative is again positive, and that's going to be 14 m squared n. And if you look at this, you see there's m to the power 1, there's m to the power 2. So it's not like terms. So this will be your final answer. Okay, let's look at number 2. Start with white again. If I look at, no, it's not A I gave you, it was B. B is the first one. So if I look, this is 3b plus b, and it's 2 plus b. So this is going to be 3b plus 2b plus b squared. Okay, and don't forget, this is like. So 3 plus 2, that's going to be 5b plus b squared. And that's going to be my final answer. Okay, and if I look at number E, so that's going to be 3c minus 4, 2 minus 5c. So that's going to be 3c. Now a negative, and again, don't forget that this is a negative. Okay. So this is going to be negative 4 times 2, so that's going to be negative 8. And a negative times a negative is a positive, and that's going to be 20c. And don't forget your like terms, and if you look at your like terms, this is going to be like, unlike. So if you add your like terms, you're going to get 23c minus 8, and that's your final. And then the last one is number J, and that's going to be A3 A plus 1 minus 2a squared a minus 1, and that's going to be a 3 plus 1, it's 4 plus a3. Okay, be careful again. Every time you see a negative, think of the signs that will change. So it's going to be negative 2a, 2 is going to be 3, plus, and this is going to be 2a squared. And then your like terms, like. So this is going to be a to the power of 4, 2 minus 1, so it's going to be negative a to the power of 3 plus 2a squared. And that's going to be your final answer. Okay, let's move on. This was easy because I think we did it also in grade 9. So it was just one term in front of the bracket. Let's move to the next page. Okay, now this is more complicated. I think we also did it in grade 9, but we just, as revision, this is going to be two binomials that we're going to multiply. There's even a trinomial. So we can either do it like this, and I think in this case I'm just going to stand still, or we can do it like this, but it's optional. So I think the method used mostly is this one, but try also to do it with this method. Okay, let's start. If let's just get the highlighter. Expand each of the following. Now, it's like taking this term, I'm going to show you both methods, and multiplying it with the first and the second. And take the second term, multiply first, multiply second. So this is going to be x squared, this is going to be negative 2x, this is going to be 3x, this is going to be negative 6. And there is your like terms, you add it up, and this is your answer. If you look here, it's almost like long multiplication. So in this case, I'm taking this one and I multiply it, I get negative 6, and I multiply it, I get. Then leave your space for the 10th position because I'm there, and then I'm going to multiply and I get 3x, and I multiply and I get x squared, and then I'm adding it up and I get negative 6, and I get x, and I get x squared. So it's actually also a very easy method. If I do this one, again, it's this term, let me show you, this term, multiply, multiply, this term, multiply, multiply, this term, multiply, multiply. And then we write it down, and then we just add up the like terms, and that's what we did there. Okay, so this was y, this was y, so it's going to be negative 9y, but start with the highest index. This is 15, then the second one, this was this one, 17, and the final one, 1. Okay, and again the vertical, rather write the 3 terms on top, the 2 terms here, and then multiply, 10 space, multiply, and just add it up. Okay, I'm not going to give you so many. I want you only to do for me, now I'm going to give you 2. Do a very simple one, A, and then do number H, a bit more complicated. I think I'm going to show you both methods, so try also to do it on both methods. Let's start. So in this case, it's going to be 2a plus 1, 6a plus 1. So remember, we take this one and we multiply. And this is what I do first. So then 2a times 6a, that is going to give me 12a squared. 2a times 1, that's going to give me 2a. Then this one, and this is going to give me 6a, and this is going to give me 1, like. And then this is going to give me 12a squared plus 8a plus 1. Okay, and if you do it on the other method, and I want to show it to you because for some students or learners this will be easier, and for others the other method will be easier. Okay, start with 1. So it's going to be 1 and it's going to be 2a. And then leave your 10 position. You can even put a 0 there. And then this is going to be 6a. And this is going to be 12a squared. And it's actually positive 6a. It's better to put the positive. And then this is going to be 12a squared plus 8a plus 1. And that's going to be your final. And if I look at number J, so if I look here, 6y squared minus 5y plus 2, and I'm going to multiply it with 3y minus 2. And again, I multiply. Okay, so let's start. So 6 times 3, that's going to be 18, and it's y to the power of 3. Then 6 times, so this is going to be negative 12y squared. This is going to be negative 15y squared, and this is going to be plus 10y. This is going to be 6y, and this is going to be negative 4. And then my like terms, let's just find my like terms, like. So this is going to be 18y3, and this is going to be negative 27. Okay, let's just write it down. 3 number j, I'm just checking something. J. Okay, so this one is going to be negative 27 y squared. Okay, and this is going to be plus 16. Let's see if here. Okay, this is not number j I'm doing, it's number h. I just want to correct, I'm searching for a mistake. Okay, so basically, then this is 27, this is 16. Oh, let's just go back. This is 16y, and then it's minus 4. Okay, so I was checking for that mistake. I saw there was somewhere a mistake. So this was number h. And if I do it on the other method, and I want to show you that method also, maybe I will just move a little bit here. So on the other method, I'm going to use another color. So it's going to be 6y squared minus 5y plus 2. And this is going to be 3y. I must try to do it on this side because the pen is not working so nice there. I'm going to try to do it here. Okay, so it's 6y squared minus 5y plus 2. And this is going to be 3y minus 2. Okay, so this is going to be negative 4. Always write the sign here. This is going to be positive 10y, so write positive, otherwise you don't have a sign there in front. Still struggling with the pen. Okay, and this is going to be negative 12 y squared. And then this is, leave your 0, okay, this is going to be 6y and this is going to be negative 15 y squared, and this one is going to be 18 y to the power of 3. Okay, and if I then add it up, then this is going to give me also 18 y3 minus 27 y squared plus, I'm just struggling with the pen, 16 y minus 4. It looks like equal, but it's actually supposed to be minus 4. Okay, so it's actually exactly the same as there. Okay, it's just the pen was struggling a little bit. Okay, I want to end up this video by showing you a final thing. And this is very important. It's actually a method which we use. If we come and we see that the brackets are exactly the same, then we can write it like this and just write a square. So basically, I can do it the long method, but I want to show you the short method. Because a lot of kids go, or learners go, and they just say b squared minus 9, and that's incorrect. There's a third, there's a second, there's 3 terms, and there's a second term. So what you can do is you square the first term, and you square the last term. Okay, always square the first term, square the last. And then to find this middle term, you multiply these 2 terms with each other. And then you always multiply it by 2. So negative 3 times b will be negative 3b. And if you multiply it by 2, then it's negative 6b. Okay, it looks like a bit difficult, but it's not really, and it's very helpful, especially for students who's going to continue with mathematics. Okay, so let's just look here. If we're going to, I'm going to first do one with you again, and then you can stop the video. So if I do this one, and I really just struggle with the pen now, but I want to finish this videos off. So if I look at this one, and I'm just going to say square, I think it's sometimes at the bottom of the page that the pen struggle. I will now go to the top. Okay, so then it's square the first one, so it's x squared. Okay, let's just go back. It's x squared. And then this one is going to be 9. And then multiply the 2 with each other. So it's 3x times 2. So it will be positive 6x. And that's the answer. Okay, I just want to see if the pen works better. I want you to stop the video. And I want you just to do number C. And you can do number H. Only that two. I'm just going to make space to the top. You must just be able to see this. Okay. I'm going to look at trinomial 4. Okay, I'm just going to, let's just move this up. Then we are in order. And I'm going to look, the two I'm going to do is number C. And number C is like this. 5y minus 8. So this is going to be, I multiply this to, I square this first term. So this is going to be 25y squared. I square this last term, so it's going to be 64. Then I multiply this two with each other. So 5 times it's negative 40y times 2. So it's going to be negative 80y. And that is going to be my answer. Okay, so it's a very short method and it's very good that students can do this. Okay, especially if they want to work fast. So if I look at number H, and I'm going to do it again just on that second method. So it's going to be negative x4 minus 8 x to the power 5. Again, if there's only one term, it's not a problem inside the bracket. You do this method if there's two terms inside the bracket. So in this case, if I look at this one, I'm just going to say, okay, first I'm going to multiply these two with each other. Okay, so if I multiply, so negative x4 multiply negative x4 is going to be positive x to the power of 8. This one, I negative 8x5 multiply negative 8, so it's positive 64x to the power of 10. Now, multiply these two with each other. You can do it here on this side. So negative times a negative is positive, and that is going to be 8, okay? And that's going to be x. And it's 4 plus 5, that's going to be 9. But don't forget to multiply it always by 2. So it's going to be positive 16x to the power of 9. And that's my final answer. Okay. I just want to, a final one. if this is the last in multiplication, if I have the two brackets and an extra term, then again there's two ways of doing it, and I'm just going to end off by showing this final one to you. So the two ways of doing it, let's just see. I can keep the term in front and then first multiply out the two brackets, and then I can multiply that term in, and then I can add the like terms. Or I can multiply that front term inside only the first bracket, and then I actually created two brackets again, and then I just multiplied with each other. Okay, again I want you to stop the video, and I just want you to do one. Okay, I'm just going to give you number D. Okay, you can continue the video as soon as you are finished. Okay, let's start. Again, I'm going to do it on both methods for you. So in the first case, it's -5, and then it's 3x minus 2. Okay, and then it's -5, and then I multiply, and I'm first going to keep the term in front. So it's going to be 21x squared plus 12x minus 14x minus, minus 8. Okay, and now I can multiply it in, or I can first add my like terms. I think I'm going to do that. It makes a little bit less multiplying. So it's x squared. This is going to be -2x minus 8. Okay, and then I'm just going to multiply it in, and if I multiply this in, then I'm going to get this -5 times 21 is going to be -105 x squared, and this is going to be positive, positive 10x, and this is going to be positive 40. Okay, and that's the final. Or, and this is the last one I'm doing in this video, if I do it on the other method, and I'm going to, now I don't know where is the best, I write it here. Okay, in this case, I multiply this one in. So I get -15x plus 10, and I get 7x plus 4. So if I'm going to multiply this one, and now I just multiply. So by multiplying this one in, I'm going to get -105. Okay, let's just see, -15. -105, because it's going to be this one times this one, x squared, and then I'm going to multiply this one with this one, so I get -60x. Then I multiply this one with this one, I get positive 70x. And I multiply this one with this one, and I get positive 40. And then my answer will be -105 x squared plus 10x plus 40. And that will be my final answer. So you can either do it on this method by keeping the number in front, or the term in front, and first multiply out the brackets and then multiply it in, or you can multiply it in one bracket. You could even multiply it in that bracket and then multiply out the brackets. And that's how we do multiplication of polynomials.